Good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Stacy with Loving My Veteran, and we're doing Walking in My Shoes this morning. We're in the week where we're kind of talking about self-preservation, and we are talking about self-care and things that are important to us because we are not going to be good for anybody if we're not good for ourselves first. So it's really important today that I have to have coffee time. It's really important that we understand how we can have our own sense of self-preservation and self-care. And the first thing you have to understand is that self-care is not the same as being selfish. And a lot of us feel like, well, if I take care of myself first, and there's so many other things to do, I'm being selfish. I'm reading a book, and I love self-help books and books that motivate you. And my book is, hopefully you can see it. It's Grace, Not Perfection. Um, but what she says in here is, you can't give of yourself if your well is empty. And I think that is so important to understand. And sometimes it's hard for us to get. But think about when you get on an airplane, right? So you're sitting on the airplane and you're waiting for all the people to get in. And as your plane starts to taxi out to the runway, this little stewardess has got the little thing and the mask comes out and says, and if the cabin pressure drops, a mask will fall from the and you were to, good morning, Sean. You were to stretch that mask and put it over your face first before you assist others, right? So the theory behind that is if you don't take care of yourself first, how are you going to take care of anybody else? So if the cabin pressure drops and you're flying with your elderly mother who's going to need help putting her mask on, and you don't put yours on first, you might get your mamas on who can't help anybody, but you can no longer help yourself or anybody else. So it is truly important that we help ourselves first. Think about firefighters, y'all. I mean, I've been a firefighter, I've been that first responder. They don't run into a burning building without their proper gear on, without their little breathing apparatus, without the hose, or without a way to extinguish the fire. I don't care if somebody's in there or not. Okay. Because if they all ran into the burning building without all the proper gear, they're going to be victims, and the victims that they went in to go get are still going to be victims. So we have to take care of ourselves first. Self-preservation. It is not the same as being selfish. It is taking care of us first. So just think about this. And I've got notes over here because this was such an important topic to me. Um, if someone else treated you the way you're treating yourself, would you blame them if they didn't show you love? I know that's a harsh reality, but if you treated other people the way you treat yourself, would they feel loved? We put ourselves on the back burner. It's what we do. We do this all the time because we have this list. I wake up in the morning, and some days I wake up in the morning at 3 a.m. and some days I wake up at 5, and I'm always thinking about, like, when I wake up at 3, it's hard to go back to sleep because I'm thinking about this massive list I have to accomplish. Yeah. What do the dogs need? What does this need? Who does this need? What do I need to take care of today? And along the way, I don't think about, girl, you need an extra 3 hours of sleep. Okay. I just don't do that. And we have to. It's all about taking care of yourself. So when you're looking at this, there are physical things that you can do to take care of yourself. Physical things. You can you understand this is huge, and I'm really having to learn this because, like I shared in my story before, I have this weird autoimmune disease thing that's kind of going on. But when you worry less, your immune system gets better. Okay. So worry is directly affected. There are studies, it is a known fact that worry and stress will reduce your immune system. And how are you going to be good for anybody if you're sick? How are you going to be good for anybody if you're not at your best? So there's physical things you can do. You can do yoga. Hey, Stacey doing yoga is not going to be graceful ever. It's just not going to happen because I'd have to try to get this 50-some-year-old body up off the floor. And if I chose to do yoga, I probably would be doing yoga the rest of my life until somebody picked me up off the floor. Not saying that yoga doesn't work for people, because it does, and they do chair yoga and all this great stuff. You can go for a walk. You can go to the gym. But something as simple as walking outside or walking around the block or walking around your yard is physical, and it helps clear your head. House cleaning. Y'all, we can multitask and still do physical taking care of ourselves. Put your little earphones in, crank up music that's beneficial to you, and do a 30-minute or a 15-minute speed clean of your house, right? So upbeat music, headphones in, 15-minute speed cleaning your house, 30-minute speed cleaning your house. Nobody else is in your head but you and your music. You're cleaning your house. You're doing something productive. You're increasing your heart rate. You've exercised. You've multitasked, and you've done something for you. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but it's all about self-care. Mentally, don't ever put your mental being second. Only you would love your yoga time. I can't get off the floor. Okay, I'm just saying. Just trying to pick all these cute little comments, and I couldn't do it. I would never get off the floor. But our mental well-being has to be first. We cannot be there for somebody else if we don't do us first. It just doesn't work. And you also have to understand that you can help people, you can empower people, you can help uplift people, but you can't fix people. Fixing people is on people. Nobody can fix me. I have to fix me. Ownership of me. I have to take that ownership of me and my mental well being. Carl can't fix that for me. My mama can't fix that for me. My mama's fixed a lot of things in my life for me, but she cannot fix my well being. Can't. Sorry. Y'all know I'm having coffee in the middle of this. We give and give and give so much, and nothing comes back to us, that our resentment meter goes nuts because we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving. And it comes very true when we're giving, like to our veteran at times. We feel like we're the only one giving. We're the only one giving in this relationship. We're giving and he's not giving back. And so now our love and our giving out of love becomes resentment, and our resentment meter goes through the ceiling. But think about this for a minute. Have you given yourself love? Don't give yourself that love. You're not going to get it back. We get back what we give. And if we don't give ourself love, we're not going to get love back. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You got to love you. You got to take care of you. You have to take care of self. It is incredibly important that you do that. And I know that everybody is sitting here saying, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for it either, but I make time. Do something as simple. Find what works for you. There are 1,000, you can Google self-help and they will give you 1,000 ways of what the best way to help yourself is. They're not living in your shoes. They're not walking in your shoes. You're not walking in my shoes. So you don't know what is going to work best for me today. I know that. So you can do things, just think about things like meditation. You gone to work, come in to work from work, you're sitting in the yard, and you're thinking, oh God, what am I gonna walk into? Close your eyes for a few minutes. Meditate for 2 or 3 minutes before you walk in the house. Give yourself off time. Give yourself downtime. Do that. Find a song that you really like and program it into your radio and sit in the driveway for a minute and listen to it. Or if your veteran is like, as soon as you walk in and pull in the driveway, they're like running out to make sure you're okay. And that's great. Stop at the convenience store on your way home. Spend 2 minutes listening to something for you without the influx of traffic, without worrying about the stop sign or the guy who's going to hit you. Just stop for a minute and say, so you can do that. Journaling. Journaling is an incredible way to get out your emotions. Remember as a teenager, um, diaries were a big thing back then. And I read a book, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, one of the greatest books ever written. And she talked about in this book, it was just really light and really good. Like, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Look, I'm fixing to have a period. I don't quite understand it. The boys aren't doing this. This isn't happening. This is how I feel. So Margaret did this whole journal on like, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. And it was all of her fears of being an adolescent and going from that adolescent to that teenage time. And we can do that. You can write in your journal and you can spend a few minutes and be like, hey, um, I'm frustrated today. I've had a good day today. This is how I feel today. Don't make the journal about your other half. Don't make the journal about your kids. Make the journal about you. This is how I feel today. Take ownership of your well-being and your feelings. I feel like crap today. Okay. Then elaborate on why you feel like crap, but journal about it, write about it. It will give you such a perspective when you go forward into that moment. It's very important that you do that. My all-time favorite, and I write everything. So y'all, I have notebooks like scattered everywhere. Carl's like running around picking them up. I don't touch them. I have one called my thankful list. Every day I write down, sometimes it's one or two lists. Sometimes I elaborate on them and it might be 10 or 20. Every day, write down somewhere. Scratch paper, sticky note, I don't care. I don't care if the only time you have is in the bathroom and you take a pen and write it on toilet paper. It doesn't matter to me. Write down what you're thankful for. See, perspective is your reality. Your perspective is your reality. And I say that all the time. This may be real, and this you may be living in this nightmare feeling, but your perspective is your reality. Perception is your reality. So if you perceive that your life is overwhelmed, full of anger, full of hate, that your veteran never says anything nice to you, that you don't have good moments, that the bad moments outshadow the good, so you never think about the good moments. Keep living like that, your little meter, your resentment meter is going to go through the ceiling. Write down, take a moment to ponder and really accept what you're thankful for. I am so thankful for my veteran. Y'all have no idea. Does he infuriate me at times? Absolutely infuriates me. But because of this journey that we chose to take together, I have an amazing support structure of friends that I am truly thankful for. So on your bad days, you have these things that you're thankful for in life, the little things. It's y'all, I'm blocking Carl again. It's all the little things that add up. It's all the little things that he does, the resentments that add up and send your resentment meter through the ceiling. But if you start concentrating on the thankful things, your resentment meter will drop. Let's take what's happened in the world in the past 6, 9 months. It's been crappy, right? So now all of a sudden you've gone from living a normal life, you're in a schedule, you're in a routine, things are going, your kids get on the bus and they go off to school. Um, you go to work, you may not work, but whatever your deal is, hubby's working, he may be home, but you've got a routine. Now all of a sudden they tell you, whoop, the whole world's closed. So I can no longer run to my favorite Mexican restaurant and get really, really good guacamole. He's sad, by the way. You can't go in a grocery store without a mask. Couldn't find toilet paper for crying out loud. Toilet paper, a basic necessity. I can remember when this first started, I went to Sam's Club. Y'all, this was like 40 minutes before Sam's opened. They were literally wrapped around the Sam's Club, wrapped around Sam's Club. Sam's. I mean, how many people need to buy that much stuff in bulk? But they were wrapped around the Sam's Club. I just went there for wings. But I can remember how I felt and how strange that was. And then when I started going to Walmart and the other grocery stores, and they started out with like shopping carts laid on their side with like caution tape, right, to kind of corral you. And then they rented gates or bought gates or whatever. And all I kept thinking about was, yeah, we're being herded like a bunch of cattle. And so I was resentful to even go to the grocery store because I felt like I was cattle. Um, I remember Carl and I walking in one day and he said, this had to be how the Jews felt going into Auschwitz. And I'm thinking, pretty true. So when our world changes the way it has, now we're homeschooling. Now we've got all these things that are so different. We can't do this and we can't do that. And we have somebody telling us what's better and somebody telling us what's worse. So our entire life has changed, and resentment is starting to build up. So we think about what happened with COVID. You're home. You're not going out to eat. You're having a hard time getting groceries or going to the grocery store. You can't go to the movie theater. You can't go out and grab dinner. You can't do all these things. You're homeschooling your kids. But think about the thankful things that you have. You're home. You're getting to know your children. You're cooking dinner. You're having dinner as a family. You're not texting each other every 15 minutes because you're in the same house. All the things that were stressing us out and resentment was building up on our resent meter, flip it around and look at the positive side. Thankful. I am thankful that I'm still breathing. I'm thankful that I didn't have to go in a hospital at any one given point, so I wasn't by myself. I am thankful that I have a relationship with Carl that's better than ever because we're together all the time. I am thankful that I have a relationship with my kids. I am thankful that the world had shut down and I have seen my mother, who lives 600 miles away, 7 times since COVID happened. My resentment meter is coming down. And it comes down because we take care of ourselves and we look at what we're thankful for. Now I'm gonna get into the point where we're gonna get over the objections, because we as human beings make excuses and we have objections to like everything. I'm too busy. That's the number one objection in self-care. I'm too busy. Okay. Take a few minutes and assess your needs. What do you need and what do you write them down? Now, you can't write things like, I won't tell you what you can't write, but I'll tell you that it won't work. You can't write things like, I want a happy house. Okay, well, I want a happy house too. I want a house where we don't argue. I also want $1 million and I want a tree in my backyard that spits out money like an ATM machine. Yep, I would like all those things, but none of those do I have control over. Doesn't happen that way. Okay, so what do you need? You need Do you need to relax? Do you need relaxation? Do you need quiet time? Do you need to shut the world off for a few minutes? Do a personal self assessment of what you need that you can do to take care of you. Nobody else is going to take care of this for you. You for you. Quick assessment. What do you need? Prioritize that list. I'm not asking you to change the world overnight. I'm not telling you that it can be done because it can't be done. And I'm telling you that I fail at it. A lot of times I go backwards instead of forwards, but I have to get up, dust my butt off, and go back to taking care of me. So find what you need for you, what works for you. Make a list. What do you need? Pick one, accomplish it, schedule it. Schedule it. So if you got 900 things going on in your day and you're like the rest of us and we're all busy, so we can all attest to this fact that we live in a busy world and we're all busy. Some of us are homeschooling and running businesses and working from home and trying to take care of husbands and kids and whatever. And in our case, we run two businesses, and I mean, we are all busy. Okay, so nobody has the market on busy, so we're all busy. When you make your list of what you have to do in a day, schedule some time for you. I'm not saying an hour. I'm not saying a 45-minute block. I'm not saying look at your calendar and say, oh, I can squeeze in 3 bites of lunch with my friend on the fifth Friday of the 13th month. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I have to drive from here to here today. So you know what? I'm going to make a playlist of music that makes me happy, and I'm going to listen to my playlist on point A to point B. I'm saying find a book that's an easy read, self-help book, some book that's an easy read, something that distracts you from life. I love this book, by the way. Again, I tell you, I love this book. Read 3 pages. Who cares? If you read 3 pages at a time or 2 pages at a time, you're still accomplished more than you did before you read it. So look at those as accomplishments, not as failures. Who cares if it takes you a year to read a book? If you're making steps, it's positive. So keep going forward with that. Schedule your time 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Put you time in there. I schedule my time for first thing in the morning. If I don't do it first thing in the morning, it may or may not happen the rest of the day. That's me. That's what works for me. It's just something that works for me. May not work for you. You got little kids running around the house. I can see, like Sean and the rest of you, you've got kids, and especially when they move and they go to school, yay, yay, excited for you. Um, you don't have time in the morning to get up and get hubby off to work and get your kids' lunches packed for school and get them dressed. You may not have time for you first thing in the morning. I do. I make that time. That's on me. Find your 5 or 10 minutes. Make your priorities. This is the hardest thing you're ever going to learn to accept. Your time is your choice. What you do with your time is your choice. Allowing things or people to absorb and use up all of your time. Now, I told you these weren't always going to be easy. Taking a deep look at yourself is tough. Your time is your choice. So, you know, the good thing I guess in this world is that because of COVID, we don't have any new TV series appearing. As much as I hate the fact that I can't watch a new episode of The Resident come September, because right now should be like premiere week and there's nothing premiering anywhere. But I'm not absorbed in that TV. So I can take what I used to spend on a few minutes of a TV time and I can read, or I can lay there with the floor with the dogs, or I know this morning I was cutting out some time for me, and I literally walked out in the backyard and spent 10 minutes throwing a ball for the dogs. Okay, that was good. That was great. It was for me. It cleared my head. But your time is your choice. What you allow to invade that space, that's on you. So you have that ability to control your time and your time schedule. Yes, if you work 8 to 5, can you control what happens in 8 to 5? No, you probably can't. but there's still a lot of time left in the day that you can control 5 minutes. So your time is your choice. Um, you come first. And sometimes, and it's hard for me, that means leaving the dishes in the sink. That means leaving a load of laundry unfolded. That may mean not picking up the house this afternoon. That may mean I have to scrub the shower when I'm washing my hair because I forgot to do it one day or didn't do it one day. You're in control of what you do in your time. So if you need 5 minutes for you, those dishes are sitting there. Which is more important? The dishes are going to be there in the morning. Dishes, just contrary to popular belief, do not grow legs and get up and walk off, just like guns don't shoot themselves. Okay, that's just facts of life, just happens that way. So it's okay if you leave them there. Although I have decided that I really want to invent a washer and a dryer because what we're paying for them now, they ought to walk around the house, pick up my dirty clothes, sort them, wash them, dry them, fold them, and put them back where they belong. But haven't quite figured out how to invent that yet. But when I do, I'll share that with y'all. Um, Set boundaries. And y'all need to run um, set boundaries. This is going to be hard, especially when we've lived so long without these boundaries. So you can't just come in today and say, okay, I'm going to set all these boundaries and you're not going to do this, 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 and this. That's why I said prioritize, pick your one thing, set your boundary. This is my space, my time. Do not, excuse me, do not talk to me during my space, my time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Again, I am the headphone guru. If my headphones are in, I'm wired to something else to shut me off from the world. Don't talk to me. Let me have my moment with my music. Don't talk to me. So you gotta set a boundary. And those boundaries are everything. That means no phone calls. That means no work. That means whatever crisis popped up on Facebook or Messenger can be dealt with later. I'm not real good at that. When my little phone lights up, I do turn the ringer off, but now I've just gotten to where I watch the screen. Right? Doesn't gonna help anything. Um, I literally last night, first time I've ever done this, I texted my kids, and my youngest son works EMS too, so it kind of texts me whenever he's between calls, and I said, "Hey, unless it's an emergency, we're getting ready to have dinner, our time, and go to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow." I set boundaries with my son so he didn't come into my space. My mom, she sets boundaries with us all the time. She says to me, "Don't call me before 9 a.m. unless it's." So you're allowed to set those boundaries. What is your time? What is your family time? You tell your kids, I will help with your homework from this time to this time. But at 9 o'clock at night is my time. Don't don't ask me about homework you've had from the time I've got home to deal with your homework, and it's not my crisis today. Set your boundaries. Be in control of who you are. Because that is what self-worth is all about. We're valuable. We matter. That's what self-worth is all about. Finding our value. And it's okay. That's not being selfish. Being selfish is when you got $5 in the bank and you're going to go buy you all the candy or whatever and you don't share it with anybody. That's selfish. But turning off from the world so that you can take care of you, that's not. That is self worth. That's making you valuable to you. Because when you're not valuable to you, when you're not important to you, you're not important to anybody else. Because if we treated others the way we treat ourselves, would they love us, one, and would they like us, number two? Just a thought. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up on that today. We're gonna talk more. I cannot wait. I'm gonna do live from the car tomorrow, probably. Carl and I are gonna venture out, and we are going to Savannah, and we're gonna go do a little touring around and seeing some amazing things in Savannah, which I'll share more. But more importantly, we are going to go get lunch, and not at one of the great restaurants that I love in Savannah so much, but we're going to go get lunch, and we're going to go spend lunch hour on the park benches with the homeless in Savannah, and we're going to feed them lunch and talk to them and get some veteran stories and just tell them that they're loved and they're appreciated. So we absolutely cannot wait for that to happen tomorrow. And of course, we'll share our story once we get back. Um, I'm gonna get off here and go refill my coffee because in a half an hour, coffee, conversation, and collaboration is Behind the Service podcast. Go to them and they'll get their link and have coffee with us, please, because we love it. We have the best time there. What else great is going on? Oh, their podcast released today as well. So please go check out their podcast because they are bring us some amazing points going forward and going in. These videos are slowly getting there. I'm learning slowly to get them to our YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to Loving My Veteran YouTube channel, and you're going to get way more of the whole story, especially when we go to Savannah tomorrow and kind of go hang out with these amazing people and get their stories and just spend time empowering other people. We are so excited about doing that, and hopefully I have a little secret coming up that I can share tomorrow. Um, about that experience. I'm so excited for that experience. Again, please just take care of you. That is singly the most important thing. And Thursday night, links are up. They're on our website too, the new improved website. It's got some things that have got to be done to it. Um, but it's a work in progress and we're getting better every day on that. Please go. There's a newsletter place to subscribe to the newsletter. We don't sell your information. We just want to send you a newsletter with great resources, things that are coming up, all those amazing things. Look forward to sometime next week, hopefully. I'm working on an interview with Dr. Clay Lee from the VA locally here. He's going to discuss some of the true issues that are going on from what he sees, and we're going to give him feedback on what we see. So I'm really kind of excited for that interview and that discussion, which will be, we'll send you the links, but those will be on our YouTube channels. Again, YouTube is just a great place to go. We will be spending, I know that for us and Behind the Service and some of these other great groups are going to be spending the next 7, 8 days making sure we have all of our videos and stuff copied off of Facebook and social media due to the new guidelines that are there. You can also, this is like a public service announcement, like I'm advertising for everybody. You can go to Instagram, Twitter, we're there. We're also on LinkedIn. And again, just spend time getting to be part of the community. Um, we share with our partners, and we're just making a huge community of people who love and support each other. And we hope you have a blessed day. And I will get this up to the YouTube channel and on the website after coffee conversation and collaboration. Please join us there. I am so excited, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.